Welcome back. My next guests are Sarah and Keziah from Pulling the Race Card. Welcome, ladies, and thanks for coming on Daytime Buffalo.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, let's talk about Pulling the Race Card. What is it, and how did it get started?
So it is an interactive discussion using a deck of cards. In 2020, after the murder of George Floyd, we started thinking that we needed to have some really honest and candid and difficult conversations about race. So we got put our heads together and came up with a deck of cards, which we call Pulling the Race Card.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. And you guys are sisters, correct?
Yes, we are.
Okay, cool. Now tell me about it's not just the cards you have, you also have these interactive workshops, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So we go into different facilities, different organizations, and we pull a card, basically. We usually start with an icebreaker to get people to see each other as humans and not as a color first. And then we start pull a card. Each participant gets a fact and fiction card, and a card is drawn from the deck. The card is read. They decide whether the topic is fact or fiction, and that's where the discussion begins.
For a lot of people, talking about race and relations and the climate of our country is very uncomfortable.
Yes.
So how do you guys approach this or make this in a way that just seems easier for people to talk about? It's going to be hard to talk about regardless, right? But how do you guys make this more approachable?
So we do start with a icebreaker, like as I was saying, but then we also have a group of rules, a set group of rules. So it's non-judgmental, no overlapping of conversation, being honest, rules such as that, so that we can help to break down a lot of the feelings of uncertainty or uncomfortability when we are having these discussions. Because, when we come in, people are trying to figure out, okay, what are we, just the name alone, pulling the race card, they're thinking, oh no, guard's up. And so we have to find a way to make sure that they're comfortable when we start having these conversations. And it's usually the icebreaker, and then also the group rules, And
Speak your truth, listen to understand, not to be heard, not to respond, right? So rules like that. Mm-hmm.
And so have you found a lot of companies and organizations have come to you guys to host these workshops?
Yes. It's usually really much easier for them to have someone come in and have these discussions because they are hard. And so they're difficult, but it's difficult for us to have the discussions as well. But so we do have, in organizations and, folks come, calling us and wanting us to come in to facilitate these.
So do you also sell these, right?
Yes.
For people to be able to do this on their own?
Yes.
Which I think is an awesome thing. It's, like we said, it's a hard topic to talk about, but in light of things that we've continuously seen over and over again in our country, it's hard to ignore it.
Yes,
you have to talk about it. And you guys have kind of made it easy to facilitate these conversations in a safe way.
Yes.
Right.
For people
There's also a QR code on the bottom of our cards that can take you to a video, an article, a statistic about more information about whatever the topic is. So that gives them another helping hand when having these discussions.
Right. That's awesome. Okay, so how can our viewers get involved?
So they can reach out, pullingtheracecard.com. We actually have a podcast.
Let's talk about the podcast.
So it's on YouTube right now, The Only Race Card. And basically we talk about our own experiences, and we try to bring people on every once in a while to talk about their experiences.
We pull things from the media, so something may have happened that we just really want to talk about. And I think when we use our own experiences, and we're usually laughing, it's not a laughing matter, but we
sometimes
do find
to
some
laugh
humor.
at that, right?
Yes, and so it's entertaining. It is definitely entertaining. It's entertaining for me when I look back at it. It's funny. Yes.
Yeah. What's been some of the feedback from people that have used your cards and then done your workshops?
So I'm thinking about the last organization that we worked with, and when we came in, there was definitely some hesitancy about even having these discussions. Oh, this is not going to work, or things of that nature. And then after we made folks feel comfortable and had these discussions, they didn't want it to end, and in fact, they're bringing us back again for round 2. So it's not as hard as people think it is, and it really helps to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, So it's just having a simple conversation, and it sounds so basic, but
Right.
I think once we get to know one another, we're less likely to, judge and look at one another in negative light.
Absolutely.
And then when having the conversations, you're more likely to do a self-reflection, and that's the start of change.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. And again, where can people purchase these different decks?
Pullingtheracecard.com.
Okay. And again, that's also how people can reach out
Yes,
to you
definitely.
to sign up for a workshop that you
Yes,
guys host.
definitely.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Viewers, if you'd like to learn more about this, you can go to their website, pullingtheracecard.com. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.